Yeah, it says waiting for goat biscuit. Yeah, it says waiting for goat biscuit. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. You're by a door. Yeah. You just picked something up. Zombie.
Strange. The concentration of stardust here is extremely high. And yet, there is almost no sign of an energy reaction.
Dr. Marshall warned us that reaction activity might drop to low levels this close to the monolith sphere of influence. By the way, stabilization anchors are locked in position.
Who's Dr. Marshall?
What do you mean, who's Dr. Marshall? The director of our research lab? You okay, Sandra?
I don't know who you're talking about. I can't place them.
I think we need to get away from this place.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to a different thing now. Yeah. The giant spider thing. Woo. What? Oh no. Oh my gosh. She put an egg. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Oh no, you're dying. Yeah.
Become the Democratic nominee. John Santucci, stay with us. Thank you, John Santucci, with that.
John Santucci, stay with us.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Here's some more reactions.
Let's first go to our Tom Fitzgerald outside the White House tonight, where
Actually, we
folks are
already did
expected
this
to
one.
gather.
Hold on, here's another
Yeah,
one.
we saw
And
that.
let's get back to our local 10 News reporter
saw this
Samir
one, too.
next.
Saw this one.
I want to
too,
turn
yeah.
now to a historian.
Here we go.
Are you the same guy, the same muscles? Look at that guy. Are you the same
pointing at
guy?
Hulk Hogan?
Yes? No kidding. It's pretty good memory, right? Unlike somebody else that happened to be running again.
Oh,
You
snap.
wouldn't. Come on up there. Get up here. I gotta get this guy. This guy was central casting. Look at him. Look. Oh, I think he was standing on a box. That was the only thing I said. You got. Come on up here. Don't hurt yourself. Can you get him up? I like this guy. He's a serious union guy, a United Auto Workers. You look at him get over there. It's okay. He does not carry guns. He's not. Come on up here. Look at him. Look at his shape he's in.
I'm glad to see this guy. I told you we're going to get 85 million of us out there to vote for him. So let's go home from this rally and do our part.
If he wins Michigan, he's pretty much got it in the bag. I guess we'll wait. We'll see what the polling numbers do now that someone else is going to be in there. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look at the arms on him. I may have height, but his arms are definitely more powerful. Look at that guy.
What an ass on that guy, huh?
Just
She dead? Yeah, she dead.
person. Could you foresee that someday in the future, perhaps, you being interested in running for president?
I don't foresee that.
Why not? I mean, like,
What is
she
that?
polls really high, actually. If you look at her polling as the presumptive
That,
nominee, it's ridiculously high.
I don't know what it is.
pretty
Like a
surprising.
room? It's a monster room?
That's right, and I intend to serve 4 more years as governor and do the best
No,
job
the
that I can
first
to hand this
thing
seat
it
over to
showed-
whomever succeeds me in an even stronger position than we are in today. The lure of Washington, D.C. has not been something that has ever drawn my interest or attention. What I love about state government is that we can do things right now and see the impact that it has in people's lives. That's why I love writing an annual education budget. That's why, I have always been drawn to state government work. It's close to the people. You can see results and you can get things done. And
I gotta go take my night mate.
I don't even know what to make of it when people
I gotta go take
want
my
to
night
have
mate.
that conversation, the national conversation. That's
I need to
not
go
one
take
that I'm
my
driving
night
now,
mate.
I can tell you that.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Do a poll. I love doing polls, right? Like I do a poll. I do lots of
No,
I do a poll. I do lots of polls.
I'm gonna
So
go
if,
downstairs and take my
in
night
the
mate.
latest polling, because they included
Okay, I'll leave my phone
they
on.
included Whitmer in a poll.
Okay.
Oh god. All right, there we go. Whitmer is actually beating Trump in Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Not by
She's the
much.
President of Michigan.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. They probably will run Kamala. It looks like Kamala is pretty solidified, but not 100%.
Let's do a poll on candidates, right? So we'll do a poll on Crystal like this, because you do these crazy polls and they charge you $250. Look at this, Mr. Wall. This guy is He must have a lot of money because he's at so many different rallies. And he was at the one that was a tough one, wasn't he? And that was something. You were right up in the front.
His mic has like a buzz on it.
We're going to do a poll. And it's going to be
A very nice poll.
who's your favorite candidate? Who would you like? Let's do
Is he doing this at his own rally with his the people that showed up for his rally?
Yeah.
This is some Blues Clues bullshit.
It is.
We know what the audience is gonna say, Trump.
to run against? Because, you could say, who's the best candidate? We're saying, who would you like to? We'll start with Kamala Harris, and then we'll go to crooked Joe Biden, and then we could possibly discuss it. So who would you like to most run against if you're us, if we were in? Ready?
Oh, to run against?
Kamala Harris. Crooked Joe Biden.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think we have to go too much further. Well, you have a terrible governor here who did a terrible job. I'd like to run against her, actually. So she's one of the 20 that I mentioned. She's the one that gave her husband full right, title, and interest to everything, but nobody else could do anything but her husband. Her husband was sailing in the middle of your lake. Your beautiful lake. He's out there sailing, and everybody else.
There's multiple lakes, like inland lakes in Michigan, and then all the Great Lakes. He acts like there's just one lake. You beautiful lake.
Else had to be locked up, right? Her husband. No, but things like that are mentioned during a campaign, little things like that. No, she's done a terrible job, but I'd be very happy with her. At this very moment, Democrat Party bosses are frantically trying to overthrow the results of their own party's primaries to dump Joe Biden from the ballot. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
And as you're seeing, the Democrat Party is not the party of democracy. They're really the enemies of democracy. The parties of corrupt insiders like Whitmer, special interests, and the failed political class. That's what they are. Under our leadership, the Republican Party is now the party of the people. We're the party of hardworking Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. We've become a very big party.
We've become a very big party. The Vance, J.D. Vance, the name Vance comes from the Old English word for swamp.
Interesting.
It's interesting that Trump is going to drain the swamp, but he literally brings the swamp on the ticket.
All right, guys, it finally happened. We got huge news. It's official. Joe Biden has dropped out of the 2024 presidential election. He's done with his campaign. He's stepping down. Now, he's not stepping down as president of...
Kyle Kulinski has like almost like a boy band member aesthetic now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like
like
an early 2000s like boy band member.
Yeah, he looks like he could be a pro wrestling referee during the Monday Night Wars too.
United States. He's going to finish his term as president of the United States, but he is officially suspending his campaign and not running for re-election. So here, I'm going to read you the letter that he just sent out. Let's dive into it. My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today.
Yeah, so I want to get his opinion. We already read this part. All right.
No longer running for re-election. The other big piece of news is he's fulfilling his term as president, so he's not also stepping down as president. Now, the other big piece of news, which did a little twisty on us in a second that I'll give to you, but the other big piece of news is, based on this initial letter, he did not endorse Kamala Harris. He did not say, this is my heir apparent, I want her to be the one. Let's not have an open convention. Let's not make it messy. Let's go right with Kamala Harris. So in this letter, he didn't say that. But then immediately after this letter was released, he kind of does come out and say that. So he tweets, my fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all of my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. So in other words, he's saying, I do want it to be Kamala. I do want her to be my heir apparent. I do want us to not have an open convention. I want to go in this direction. Now, look, going with Kamala has the benefit of all of the hundreds of millions of dollars that Biden has raised. That can just go directly to Kamala, right? There's no weird legal loopholes or anything like that. There's no hurdles. It's just she gets that money and everything's hunky-dory.
And that's what's really important, in all honesty, is like who has the money. Because no one else has been campaigning really for president besides Kennedy. He tried to run as a Democrat, and then what's her name? Oh God, the woman. What's her name?
Tulsi Gabbard?
No.
So there's
Tulsi Gabbard ran years ago.
Process reason why they would want to go in this direction. But having said that, it is possible to take those hundreds of millions of dollars that Biden has raised, and then you transfer them to a super PAC, and then you have an open convention, and it could be somebody not named Kamala Harris who wins, and then that money can be spent on that candidate in that way, right? So look, I think Biden was the weakest in terms of electoral chances against Trump, and all the polling shows that. I think Kamala is way better positioned than Biden, but I do also think she's the second weakest option. Right. So ideally, at this point, I would like to see more of an open convention. I would like people like J.B. Pritzker and Josh Shapiro and Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom and all these people to throw their hat in the ring and to figure it out that way. I think the safest ticket you can get is a generic Democrat ticket, where there's not much dirt on them. Trump doesn't have much he could throw at them, and they're just generic Democrats, because all the polling shows that a generic Democrat is 6 points up on Trump in a general election. So I think that's the preferable path. With his initial letter, it looked like that's the direction he was going to go in, but then immediately after that, he tweets basically like, no, full support and endorsement for Kamala Harris. So they're trying to say it's going to be Kamala, it's going to be Kamala. So are we going to have a coronation? Maybe. It looks like maybe. I think there's still some hope for an open convention, but I also think it's very likely now that with Biden leading the way and saying Kamala, 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 you're going to have all the other Democrats fall in line and say Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. So, but again, I will say at the end of the day, I'm happy he's stepping down, man. His ego had gotten out of control. It was really, really unacceptable. He was putting himself not only above the party, but also above the country. He's not fit. He can't do it. He just can't. His brain's not there anymore. He's in cognitive decline. You have a lot of doctors who are saying, I can diagnose him with Parkinson's from across the mall.
He was saying that he was one of the people that's been on board with Biden dropping out for a while.
I would hope so, the way he's talking.
New reporting about conversations between...
I think we already saw this. Let's see.
We're getting this reaction from J.D. Vance in. He writes on X, Joe Biden has been the worst president of my lifetime, and Kamala Harris has been right there with him every step of the way. Over the last 4 years, she co-signed Biden's open border and green scam policies that drove up the cost of housing and groceries. She owns all of these failures, and she lied for nearly 4 years about Biden's mental capacity, saddling a nation with a president who can't do the job. President Trump and I are ready to save America. Who's ever at the top of the Democratic ticket? Sandra, bring it on. He closes out.
Gosh, makes you wonder what a possible VP debate would look like with Vance and Kamala Harris. Fox News chief political analyst Britt Hume is joining us now. Britt, thank you very much for jumping in and joining the coverage. Your thoughts?
Glad to do it. Well, I think we're this was forecast, I think.
Britt Hume.
And when the history of this is written, people will look back to the debate and say that from that moment on, this was inevitable, that he had to get out. He stubbornly hung on for a while, but the pressure was enormous. The odds were against him. He is, after all, old and feeble. Surely even the people closest to him recognize that, and so here we are.
So the vice presidential debate is set for September the 25th, but we don't know who's going to be in it on the Democratic side at this point. What do you think about the idea that the torch gets passed to Kamala, or Democrats rising up and saying, whoa, whoa, whoa? Because Obama said this in a statement, along with his wife, Michelle Obama, said that we trust that the Democratic Party will execute a robust process that will lead to a very strong nominee. They didn't say we back Kamala Harris. So do you think, Brett, that in the days ahead, we're going to see a lot of Democrats saying, wait a second, you might want to just pass the torch to Kamala Harris, but there's a lot of other people out there who might do better?
Well, it's possible that will happen, and a lot of Democrats may think that. But look at it this way: we don't. Who is going now to emerge and come out and say, "No, I don't want Kamala Harris to be the nominee. I'm running against her. I'm running against the woman."
I doubt anyone will do that at this point.
Who is the sitting vice president of the United States, who does, after all, have behind her the force of the votes that were for the Biden-Harris ticket. But
well, if Ted Kennedy were still around, he might do it.
Well, he might, but he's not, and RFK is around, and he's not a factor in this. So RFK Jr. I mean, I think it's.
I've seen a few RFK election campaign signs in my neighborhood. Yeah. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I saw one that was spray painted. Someone spray painted an X over it.
He's got some people behind him. Has he brought out a vice presidential candidate yet?
No, he hasn't. He did a press conference, though. I have it.
It would be awesome if he had Kevin Spacey run as his vice president, but Kevin Spacey ran as Frank Underwood.
That'd be so good. Who will step forward to challenge her? And, of course, if someone does, then it's Katie Bar the door, because on paper, at least, John, I think we all can agree that the nomination now is in the hands of a cadre of thousands of delegates chosen to support Joe Biden. That's why they're in it. They're Biden delegates. He's endorsed her. Are they going to go against the candidate that he endorsed? Maybe, but it seems to me that she really does have a leg up here, and I think an awful lot of potential candidates will shy away because of that.
Britt, you have to wonder what the phone calls and the meetings and the gatherings are. You got to wonder. I mean, there's been big questions leading up to this decision and this announcement from the president. You know, who is in charge and who is in his inner circle, and those that are outside of it. What are they going to do? You know, you've got the president endorsing Kamala Harris very publicly in this statement. And as we were just noting, some of these governors who are now responding, who hadn't initially called for him to drop out of the race, they're stepping in to talk about Biden's legacy without even, endorsing Kamala Harris. So, I mean, the next few days, next hours, I should say, you can only imagine the conversations that are being had.
Here's some of RFK's thing because he did like a live stream, like he's in his backyard. Actually, this is RFK to announce that he is now a woman.
Oh, snap. It's so brave.
Where is he?
A little bit.
Is that a film?
I don't know why they had to live stream the setup, but whatever. Oh, here we go. His voice is so irritating. I like how there's a volleyball.
What's that?
Is it Cheryl Hines that came out with it?
Stephanie, ready?
The RFK press conference.
Yeah.
After Biden pulled out and Robert talked like Biden was stoned. Also, his voice sounds like a tape recorder with batteries about to die.
Yeah, he's married to Larry David's wife from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, yeah. Yeah, Larry David is good friends with him.
Oh, yeah.
Stephanie, ready?
He sounds like he's about to cry all the time.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I want to begin by commending President Biden for a career in public service.
I wouldn't be able to take him seriously with this kind of voice.
A long, long career in representing and serving our country, and for his handling of the many difficulties and challenges, personal challenges and tragedies that he suffered during his life with so much admirable conduct, and the empathy that he derived from those experiences, that he was always proficient at showing to the rest of us. I want to add that a little over a year ago, when I entered this race, I predicted that President Biden suffered from a degenerative condition that was not going to improve, and that it would make it impossible for him to govern effectively. The reaction of the DNC to that obvious...
I want to hear what he sounds like talking into a fan. Like, would it make his voice sound normal?
I think it's cool, though. He's obviously got a disability and, can still be a speaker like this.
His condition was to hide it from the American public and to use their power over the Democratic Party nomination process to
Is that
make sure
all
that
you've
nobody
experienced?
could compete with President Biden in a way that would expose his deficiencies. And as a result, we are where we are today, which is in a period of crisis. And we have two crises, and they both derive from the same condition. And that condition is the emergence of the domination of corporate power over American democracy that accelerated beginning in 2010 with the Citizens United case that unleashed a tsunami of corporate money into the American political process. And both parties are now captured by that corporate money. And they've lost any kind of authentic connection to the American people or to the populist goals of the Republic and of democracy. On the Republican side, President Biden promised the last time around that he was going to drain the swamp. But instead, he came in and he appointed a pharmaceutical lobbyist and CEO to run HHS.
He did not drain the swamp.
Biden lobbyists to run.
I wonder if he'll play the spoiler in a few states, because there are a few states where he's polling like 10% of the vote.
Yeah, did you see the call between him and Trump recently leaked?
Yes, where they're planning on working together.
The FCC, a Goldman Sachs CEO to run the Treasury Department, an oil lobbyist to run the Interior Department, a coal lobbyist to run the Environmental Protection Agency, and so on.
When Trump appointed all these people into those positions, that's when I knew Trump was not going to be that president. So at first, I was like, maybe Trump, he has this history where he's been kind of like both sides independent. Maybe he'll come in and he'll appoint some people and he'll do some good. And then it was like, nope, he just solidified that he don't give a fuck.
Yeah. When he hired Linda McMahon, I knew like right away. I was like, oh god, like he's doing favors for his buddies.
She's at least like more of a safe appointment as far as like the money and stuff where she comes from. That was more like a way of saying thank you for supporting me privately. But the McMahon company is not this huge money pit that can influence things beyond, giving Trump what he needed to get elected. They did donate a lot to his campaign, but like when you go into these huge companies, these pharmaceutical and all the other pockets, it's like, holy shit, he is not draining anything.
And only today, President Trump has announced that in his new administration, should he win this election, that Jamie Dimon will be his choice as Commerce Secretary, and that Larry Fink,
he almost said Larry Flint,
hot,
who is no longer alive. So
I'm a hustler, baby.
I want to go back to Ryan Nobles just briefly here, because Ryan, part of this moving forward, as Monica laid out, is does Kamala Harris in fact end up taking the top of the ticket? If she does, who ends up as her running mate? And if she does not, who else could be in the mix? And there is a slew of names that have been widely speculated about ever since the pressure started to build after that first presidential debate at the end of June. We're talking about people like Gavin Newsom, like Gretchen Whitmer, like Josh Shapiro, like Andy Beshear, like Mark Kelly. Talk us through some of what you've heard and the response from these folks, because many of them are out with statements just late today. Very few of them are coming out with a full-throated endorsement of Kamala Harris just yet. As
Democratic contenders. Yeah,
people keep using the term full-throated. Buttigieg is in there.
Yeah, I don't know about Buttigieg. Some of these guys I hadn't heard of before they were in this conversation. Maybe just because they're like, I've never lived in Illinois, so I don't know the governor of Illinois' name.
She said Mark Kelly. She brought up Mark Kelly when she was talking about potential contenders, but he's not pictured here, right?
Not here. Yeah.
I'm Googling Mark Kelly right now, but I don't know who he is.
Going to look here at those potential Democratic contenders, Ryan.
He's a former astronaut.
To your point, Hallie, the one person
from Arizona.
I do believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. List that you mentioned, I believe you mentioned him, was Mark Kelly, who is a potential running mate for Kamala Harris. He comes from
Okay. He is Gabby Giffords' husband, and Gabby Giffords was that congresswoman that got shot in the head and survived.
Yeah.
Several years ago.
Swing state.
He's got an interesting look. He's a bald man.
Yeah.
Arizona. He obviously has a very compelling life story as a former astronaut. The husband of Gabby Giffords, who was nearly murdered in an assassination attempt when she was a member of Congress, now represents the state of Arizona. He is out with a full-throated endorsement of Kamala Harris. He says that she is the right person.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Using full-throated.
I've never heard that term before today. It sounds like the name of like a 1970s porn film.
I'm telling you, dude. Now that we have a woman running again. They're starting to pull out the porn references. They know what they're doing. They're doing this on purpose.
To defeat
Media
Donald
is sexist.
Trump and lead our country into the future, and that she has his support for the nomination. So Mark Kelly's a potential name on that list. You mentioned others. I think
Biden having his Marilyn Monroe moment here, where it's like blowing up his suit jacket.
A strong
Which is
possibility.
crazy because his dick is also flaccid and getting blown up by the wind.
It could be Roy Cooper, the governor of North Carolina. North Carolina is a state that Barack Obama was able to win twice, but Donald Trump has gone on to win twice. It's a state that Democrats would love to put in play during this potential presidential election, especially if they start to bleed a little bit with that northern blue wall, the kind of Midwest Rust Belt wall, which Joe Biden was able to sweep last time around. Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, is on that short list of someone that could not only potentially be a running mate, but also could potentially be at the top of the ticket if the process is open. That's certainly a name that people would point to. I think Andy Beshear in Kentucky, who is a moderate Democrat.
We're on board.
Comes from what is a ruby red state, would be at least a compelling story, right? To have somebody.
Yeah, that is a good point. Bringing somebody who is from a red state that has a big name, that is Southern, might be a good call for Kamala Harris to bring in that Southern vote. Maybe see about turning a state or two down there.
Georgia would be the most likely one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few of them. Like, Michigan is trending red, okay? But the governor of Michigan is a Democrat, so her as a running mate, Gretchen Whitmer, could help Michigan. They need to turn Michigan around. Like, if you just go by the polling right now, Trump wins. You know, like, if the only states that are really up for grabs are Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and then there's like a district in Nebraska, because Nebraska splits up their votes. Maine and Nebraska split up their votes, where most states are winner take all. So, but every vote's going to count in this. So, and it's just whoever gets 270.
Do you think that they, like Georgia or Florida, could likely go blue, or do you think that they're pretty locked in with their pink?
I don't think they're locked in, because that's what the pink means, is that it's close, but like the polling is trending towards that direction. Which, when you think about it, it's crazy that Colorado and New Mexico, which have gone blue, like in the last several, are now, light blue. Oregon, look at Oregon, is light. Oregon though has that huge population that they're not huge, but they're significant in Eastern Oregon that want to defect and become part of Idaho.
I wonder, like, how many counties in Florida it would take to flip from pink. You think 2 in the pink might flip Florida? Are you turning the color there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm like,
the map is
what's
interactive.
going down?
The map is interactive, so you can kind of go through different scenarios. I don't think I'm not sure what the polling out of Pennsylvania is, but so let's assume Biden wins all of these. He still doesn't win. See, like, even with all of these turning blue, he would have to win Michigan or Georgia. So
we need some Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's. So now it. I'm still in the mindset that it's Biden running, but now that we know it's got to be Kamala, we'll see how I'm thinking it's going to be Kamala more than likely.
That's who you would go with right now, right? Nobody's announced. Nobody else has announced. Kamala has basically announced.
They'd have to announce it really soon.
Yeah, the DNC is the 19th, right? So there's about 1 month, and you would want to get your shit together this week. I think you would want to come out like maybe Tuesday this week if you were going to challenge Kamala.
From the middle of the country, represents a lot of working class white voters in particular. That's an area where Democrats have seen their numbers bleed quite a bit. He would also be someone that would be a great compliment to Kamala Harris, and also somebody who is young. And it's interesting, Hallie, how just in the last 3 hours, the conversation of this race has flipped completely upside down. Democrats were trying to convince the country for quite a while that an 81-year-old man was fully capable of still running this country. Now they find themselves running against the nominee who pretty much under any circumstance with any of these names that have been floated as a possible nominee will be much.
Biden was a good choice to float against Trump before Trump looked like actual God surviving the assassination attempt. Like, Biden's never going to be that effervescent. He's never going to get clipped in the ear, then jump up and scream fight immediately afterwards.
I think Trump was going to win even if that didn't happen.
Yeah, but they at least were a little more, like, even at that point. The press off of that
I think the debate was enough.
Ridiculous.
I think the debate was enough, and then the assassination attempt just made it go even further.
And we are back on WGN TV Political Report. Once again, coming to you live this Sunday afternoon.
Actually, I don't want to. Let's check this.
Also tonight, New Hampshire's political leaders are reacting to the president's decision to drop out of the
People
race.
Who say that Biden was a shit choice in 2020, like, he won. And if we rigged the election in 2020, then Kamala will get it again in 2024. Why would we stop rigging?
Fleming is here with what they are saying, Amani.
Well, Marissa, Jen, overall, we are seeing New Hampshire's delegation come out in full support of President Biden's decision, with some already endorsing Vice President Harris as the next Democratic nominee. Senator Jeanne Shaheen praising the president's accomplishments throughout his term, saying in part, President Biden should be proud of the progress America has made under his leadership, as he always...
This person's probably a delegate, like... A lot of these people are delegates for the party.
President Biden is once again
the
putting
name
the country
Jeanne Shaheen goes hard.
He loves first, and I thank him for his unwavering dedication and service to our nation. And we're also hearing from Senator Hassan tonight, saying in part, on a personal level, President Biden has the extraordinary ability to envision and implement necessary and complicated change, carry the weight of the world on his shoulders, and still remember the individual hopes and struggles of people he met and worked with. Representative Annie Kuster echoing that while also expressing
Mohammed Hassan
her support for Vice President Harris as the nominee, saying, I proudly endorse Vice President Kamala Harris to lead Democrats in this fight to defend our personal freedoms and reproductive rights, to protect our democracy.
Yeah, like all of these people, the two senators in New Hampshire, the one of the representatives, probably the governor, are probably a few of that state's delegates that'll get to decide officially who the nominee is. Yeah, it's usually like Inslee is a delegate in Washington.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real fast.
And defeat Donald Trump.
I think the Democratic nominee for governor this cycle is called Mullet.
Mark Mullet is one of them, and I've seen some of his "It's Mullet Time" signs around, and they're pretty great. He's not one of the favored ones, though. It's these two other guys. Because there's two Republicans and two Democrats, and they're gonna have a primary next month, and then whoever's left over, we'll see what actually happens.
And his extreme MAGA
So what you're
Republicans.
telling me is it might in fact not be mullet time?
It's probably not.
Crap.
This coming fall. And Representative Chris Pappas saying he agrees with the president's decision tonight, and adding in part, the stakes in this election could not be higher, and this moment requires us to be forward-looking and put the needs of everyday Americans front and center. And tonight we did ask every member of the congressional delegation to do interviews with us, but all of their...
Yeah, I just looked at some of the polling, and they don't poll as much as they do for, for like national elections. But they don't even have Mullet on here.
No, we got Ferguson and Reichert. Reichert has been a Republican shitstormer for a while.
He's doing
in Washington.
Yeah, he's doing good in some of the polls. I thought they were showing Mullet in some of the polls. The other two guys are polling like 1% and 2%.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I see mullet signs everywhere. Is this Ferguson guy? I've never heard of him before. Is this Turd Ferguson?
He's some local Democrat. I'm not sure who it is. Yeah, and I mean, that just goes to show you, like, how many signs you as one person happen to see is not indicative of, like, the actual polling numbers. Like, that just means they put up more signs in areas you go to. You know, like, the amount of signs one person happens to see doesn't say anything about who's actually ahead.
Yeah, because, like, if I was led to believe that Lake City Way by the Dicks was mullet time, if anybody was in near the Dicks on Lake City Way, they would think it was mullet time.
Offices told us.
No, I think that's pretty good on the Biden stuff, and I guess we'll see how this unravels coming up here.
I just want to be, as we wrap this up, I want to be on the record saying, Biden.
Let's. Nick Fuentes says he's not going to vote for Trump.
I'm not a Republican, and I don't care that much.
You don't care that much. You just run like a politically focused web show.
What the hell did he just say?
And I'm not going to turn out. Illinois is a blue state anyway, and I don't even really care. I'm not energetic. I'm not enthusiastic. I don't like to leave the house to begin with. I'm not leaving my house to vote. Vote for what? For J.D. Vance and Usha? I'm not voting for this. I'm not lending my credibility to this.
He doesn't want to vote for Usha.
Well, he's, you know, he doesn't like the mixing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
As a real conservative, as a real right-wing American.
Oh, you're the real American?
You could not force me to care about this. You could not bribe me.
Then why are you streaming and watching it?
To care. I don't care. I don't even want to look at it anymore.
To be fair, Washington, he is saying he doesn't care about it.
Yeah, time to retire, Nick.
What if the whole next 4 years Nick just watched Catboy content on his streams?
He can watch classic Scott Henson wrestling matches.
And how great would it be if we found out that Nick Fuentes had jerked off to one of Scott's matches?
There's 2 Catboys in most of those matches, so.
Ain't bad.
Let's check out. You know what? I guess we should, you know, cleanse our palates and check out what's going on in Cobra World.
Oh snap! I heard he made new.
Yeah.
By the way, please like the stream. Also,
no.
Help us out. Send us a couple bucks. Help us meet our goal. We're so close.
Not anymore. No. Yes.
$53. We just need $53. Oh, there
What's
we go.
that?
Someone said they appreciated your Norm Macdonald reference.
Hell yeah, random guy. Cheers.
Here's
Did it for you.
Here it is. He's back. He did a live stream a couple days ago.
Oh, he's got the Mountain Dew voltage, baby.
Back at it with another video.
I got 2 new t-shirts available on Customized Girl. I'm working on a wand. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday afternoon. I got the new Monster flavor. This is the Monster Rio Punch.
Now I do.
Tasty with Guinness Extra Stout.
Oh, God.
And I'm a little scruffy. I need to shave. It tastes like orange.
Whatever.
Creamsicle with like a burst of tropical flavor. And like hints of candy.
Flavor.
So this Rio flavor ain't half bad. So now you gotta subscribe to my channel.
I've got a Monster.
Dumb shits. Get blocked.
Yeah.
And you can book me on Cameo. I do shit.
Oh, no. Cobra's actually also going to have to step down as president.
Excuse
me. Yeah.
He's president of his.
I'm grabbing your evening. I probably shouldn't drink it tonight, but
Osborne, you're going to get blocked from my channel.
I'm going to.
Yeah, for real. Do not do that.
I will go live when I feel like it.
Yeah.
I think you appreciate the fact that I even still make videos. Nobody tells me when I can and can't go live. Can't and can't go live. Fuck off. Well, I'm in a relationship, Stephanie, so but thank you for your $2. So the answer is no.
Damn.
Jessica's
Cobra.
not moving in with me, by the way.
Thank goodness.
More
I think
gender
Cobra's
relation
sick,
rate.
or I think it's worse.
I don't know. There is like a COVID resurgence going on right now, but I don't think Cobra goes anywhere, so I think his chances of catching it are very low. Like all of his food is DoorDash to him and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Soon, and advice. Yes, Burrito, I can do that. Thank you for your $2. I agree with you. Jessica Messica does suck. And she's more obsessed with bullying me and Jessica than she is with taking care of her own goddamn kid.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
I wonder if Cobra thinks we suck now.
That's a Jessica talking point, talking about Jessica Messica's kids and shit. That's where Naked and Laughing goes every time.
Mad Session for your $2. Favorite Cradle of Filth album. I like all of their music, to be honest. Don't really have a favorite. What time is it in Casper right now? It is 12:31. Thank you, Horsemeat, for your $2.
Ice dance.
No, I still haven't found Puff yet. I'm looking for him.
I'm looking for him. Come on,
I'm sipping
dude.
on a Rio Punch from Monster Energy Drink. Not a sponsor. Monster's my favorite energy
Can't
drink
believe he
company.
mixes
They're
that
not a
with
sponsor.
Guinness Stout.
Yeah, one of my YouTube buddies sent a bunch of these Delta 8 vape pens and cartridges to my P.O. box.
Did you send him some Delta 8?
Yeah.
No.
And Delta 8 is legal in Wyoming. It's not a need DoorDash official, it's a want. And actually, I'm good on the alcohol for the moment. And you're not even a real DoorDash, so I'm going to have to hide you from the
Circle
chat.
of protection on Cobbs and Ben and Billy to not catch the redux of Cobbs vid. Mote it be.
Cobbs.
Love you, sweet boys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Random. I don't want to get Cobb's vid.
It
I'd
said
rather just
Cobb's
watch
vid.
Cobra's vids.
Must need money. You're hilarious. Money is not a need, it's a want. Like, I can go
Yeah,
live.
we don't need money
hang out
either.
with my fans
We want
and entertain y'all and do maybe a drink review from Monster. But y'all giving me money is just a bonus. All this money I make from the live stream will probably go on to my Google AdSense, hopefully. Troy, thank you for your 99 cents. Trim that catfish, boy. You're just mad because you can't grow a stash, you little beta bitch.
Boy.
Yeah,
See, I got it
I'm
off
kind of mad. I can't grow a beard as good as King Cobra's.
subscriber only mode, so now you gotta subscribe to my channel just to talk shit.
Your door is open. That was an old one when you could see his door behind him in the background.
Yeah.
And then I got it on set for like 5 minutes between comments. Yes, I will take my girlfriend out when I can. When is Jessica coming to visit me? That's none of your damn business. I'm not saying shit about it on fucking YouTube. Just so y'all can fucking harass her and try to get her flight canceled. Bullshit.
Yeah.
You spent the last 6 years ripping on me for not having a girlfriend and making fun of me for anything you could think of. And then when I finally got a girlfriend, you can't fucking stop making fun of her. Donating is an option. It is greatly appreciated. I do not ask people to give me money. I don't. I see plenty of people who fucking sit here and beg for money all stream, and it's like, no. Travis, thank you for your $2.
Tooth update.
My teeth need to be worked on, that's all I know. Mead update. I had my last glass of the Skittles mead the other day, and it was exquisite.
Exquisite.
Yeah, Lois, the circle protection on for Trump. Segue, we're going to talk about this because I'm so fucking tired of it. Like, I got bullied and picked on my entire life, and I still get bullied on YouTube. You don't fucking see me doing crap like that. An innocent American was lost. A firefighter died shooting his family from the bullets.
You smoking?
Cobra, already more reasonable than
Are
Destiny.
you smoking?
But you gotta admit when Trump was like, keep fighting! I was like, yeah. I would have got up YouTube. I would have lit a cigarette and been like, you missed, motherfucker. I'm your hucklebearer. Amen.
I'm the hucklebearer.
By the way, I wouldn't call that a miss, just not like a bullseye.
I've got my mod right here.
It was not a total miss.
Yeah.
He did get hit. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't count an assassination as successful if
I didn't say it was
target
successful.
Gets to get up and fist pump.
I'm saying
Go
he didn't
full
miss.
John Bender at the end of Breakfast Club.
I didn't say successful. I said he didn't
Yeah,
miss.
for your $2, you got banned for the trolling, bud. You don't like Biden, then don't vote for him. You don't like Trump, then don't vote for him. But you should still go out and vote because it's your American rights. And because the many brave men, women,
Nice
they
bullseye,
fought for our
Rigord.
freedoms to vote. There are countries out there who don't even have the right to vote. They're just stuck with the asshole that's in charge. You know, and it's like, how hard is it if you see some loner kid getting picked on in your local high school or college to stand up for him? You're like, leave him the fuck alone. Why don't you pick on someone your own size, you fucking asshole?
Well, every time I get that, people will say, Billy, why are you talking to yourself?
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like, if you're one of those loner types, you gotta learn to stand up for yourself. I don't take shit from my fucking YouTube trolls.
Alicia Rhodey. Oh my God, is that Josh Saunders? I shouldn't have rejected him.
True that.
For example, if my YouTube trolls text me, who gave you permission to go live? Nobody. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, the shooter, Timothy Crooks, he was definitely part Boglum.
He was very Boglum looking.
It's a very Boglum thing to do, is to try and assassinate a president and make him look stronger in the process.
For watching my videos. Or nice glasses, 4 eyes. Yeah, well, having 4 eyes is better than 2. And all my trolls love to point out, like,
His name is Timothy.
Your idol, Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, is a member of the Church of England, and I'm like, I don't care. Ozzy could dye his fucking hair hot pink, and I'd still support him. Fuck off. Leave him alone. Leave me alone. How about that? And, like, if you're being bullied in school, man, fuck these losers. When you get out of high school,
Null is super bully.
you got potential to do great things with your life.
She is kind of.
Great things with your life. Look at me. I got bullied and picked on and rejected by every chick I liked growing up. And bullied by my fellow classmates. And yet, I still pulled chicks. I got a...
And he doesn't bring this up now, but it's been confirmed. He bullied people, too. He was a bully also.
A girlfriend. And I became a famous YouTuber with 100K plus subscribers. You don't know what life has in store.
Yeah.
I don't have any alcohol at the moment. I really don't care. I got a Monster, though, and it's pretty delicious. Now, if I was president of the United States of America, my campaign slogan would be Make America Greater. Be like, this country is pretty badass, but there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
I would legalize all drugs and prostitution for 21 and up, both to receive it, to get it, and hand it out, etc. Regulate it so it'd be super safe. And then I would
To
also
receive, to
establish...
get, and hand out prostitution. All three of those things would be legal.
Away. Big Diesel's voice thunders loud. Shadows keep
Is that the iron ore?
Yeah. On the next episode, I'll make sure everyone's promos get played.
Universal health care.
Egghead, I saw Egghead in the Discord today, and he said he was tired of living through history.
Isn't that what we all do?
He's specifically tired of living through history.
Don't we all just live through history? Like even if we don't want to. Matt Jarbo is about to stream. Want to see if he will let you guys jump? No.
Yeah. Let's just pause our fucking show to go jump in on a Matt Jarbo stream.
Yeah.
You know what, Zap? Ask him, because we're not going to.
No. Well, I don't want to be on his stream. Not right now, especially.
Yeah, we're busy, motherfucker.
After doing all those other things that I mentioned, and then I would try to make peace with all the countries all around the world.
Oh, he makes it sound so easy.
And establish world peace. I would offer free school lunches for children, kindergarten, all the way up to senior year of high school.
Remember when I was going to run for president, I was going to go beyond free lunches for students. I was going to do free lunches for every American. Every day you get $10 to spend on lunch. It's the free lunch program, and everybody could go to a recommended local eatery and get $10 lunch paid for by the government.
I wouldn't just come in to see me, but that's none of your damn business. The level of depravity that people can't handle that Cobra has a girlfriend. Drives them fucking nuts. I get bullied for hating sickos, and every chick I try to talk to fucking gets bullied off of being my friend. And it's like, you know what? That's your opinion.
I like how Cobra, did not change his jerk-off schedule even when she was there. And that's why she got all mad. He was having a jerk-off.
I mean, let a guy jerk
Go
it.
fuck yourself.
He's a player for real. She knows what she's getting into.
And
He's the fucking superstar here. Let him jerk his little cock.
As president, I would fight for the middle class and the lower class and blue-collar, hard-working types. People who give this country backbone. I'd fight for the people because it's power to the people. Neither I insist is straight.
Bring the noise!
The thing of it is I do shower with tactical soap, and then I also will put a little bit on my clothes to enhance the scents. I kind of feel like you're trolling me with that, so I'm gonna have to hide you from my channel.
Bye, troll.
Jessica's doing good. She's hanging in there. You know, my birthday was not until March 26th, so I'm pretty much ignoring all the happy birthday comments because we want a
Happy
reaction.
birthday, Egghead.
Happy birthday, Egghead and King Cobra.
The only reason you hate Jessica is because you don't have a girlfriend.
I don't know.
That's the... I wish I didn't have a girlfriend so I could hate Jessica.
Broke-ass sexual chocolates. That is a hellaciously hilarious username. He did not pass away. Go fuck yourself. I guarantee you, if I Google it right now, he's still kicking.
That's what they're doing. Google's it every time.
Fucking disgusting assholes.
He's about to prove you trolls wrong.
Ozzy Osbourne is still alive and kicking, so go fuck yourself.
Got you, trolls.
I don't need your membership on my
Cobra wins
YouTube channel
again.
badly enough. If you're gonna fucking talk shit on Ozzy Osbourne and then pay for a membership to my channel knowing I'm one of his biggest fans, go fuck yourself. I hope Ozzy's health gets better so we can safely move back to England. You know what? I don't need to be trolled. That's just.
I think he could move back to England if he really wanted to. I don't understand where that's coming from. Pretty
It
sure.
sucks that.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he chooses to live in the States, but he probably still has a home in England. He can go there anytime he wants.
Yeah, it sucks he wasn't born in America because then he could take over for Joe Biden.
Yeah, that'd be better.
I make a subscriber only comments, and it's like, you gotta subscribe to my channel just to talk shit. If you're gonna talk shit to Cobra, you don't gotta pay me money to do it. That's called donate to talk shit. That's not how bullying works. You people have a disconnect.
I don't think he gets to make the rules.
Krista Moss, go fuck yourself.
Dude,
I'm
random
not
guy.
being grumpy,
Don't
I'm
even
just
post that. I swear to God, I'm gonna Google to see if Ozzy's still alive.
saying. Y'all are dumb as fuck, dude.
$26 away from the goal. $26 tip train.
You don't understand
Yeah,
how
Google
bullying
says
works.
Ozzy Osbourne is still alive, dude.
Damn. Get blocked.
It's like if I hate certain people, I don't pay them money just to talk shit when I can do it for free. Like, thanks for your money, dude.
You haven't showered since moving, have you? I don't think he has.
Well,
This is the
he doesn't
third
have a
shirt.
shower.
This is the third shirt. He has a shower. He has 2 bathrooms in this trailer.
Oh,
he has,
snap.
He has
Double
3
bathroom?
bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It's way bigger than the last 2 places he's lived.
What a king.
My next album is called Life Ain't Fair. And I did have the song in my iTunes list, but apparently it's not showing up. So I'm going to have to go into GarageBand and put it back in there. No big deal.
What?
I'll play a little bit of Life Ain't Fair's song. Let's see, Rock and Roll Never Dies.
Yeah, it's interesting how Jessica will take like 10, 12-hour baths and showers, and Cobra can't take one in like 3 months. It's pretty great.
He's conserving water since his baby uses it all.
Oh, yeah, here's one of the new tracks from his new album. Sounds like a heat stroke victim trying to log on to AOL. Because of the vocals, and then like the music in the background is making the like.
Sweet boy.
Oh, thank you.
God, I hate that Nal shares the same name as me.
There you go.
Jess, bro,
You can go-
thank you very much for the birthday wishes.
You can go to Virginia and hang out with her. Let us know how that turns out.
Oh my God, Jess, bro, if you do that,
Yeah.
I will actually stand you forever. I already stand you for now.
For now.
For now. I don't think it's cool that Josh is making Boggle spirituals.
There's all you're getting of that.
Okay.
If you think it's so
That's all you
depressing,
get,
why are you on my
trolls.
channel? Go get blocked.
Get blocked.
Like, oh my God, you guys, Cobra's live. Quick, everyone, let's all get up and talk shit on it. My father's not mad at me for getting evicted because it wasn't my fucking fault. It was the trolls' fault for getting me evicted. They were harassing the conquistadors nonstop.
Damn.
I don't have a new P.O. box yet, but I will soon.
He does now.
You
I
think I'm
believe.
boring? Why do you watch? That's what I'd like to know. I don't have to be drunk to enjoy chat and hanging on stream. No, but you have to be drunk for us to enjoy it. Yeah, I want to ban you from my channel. Yeah, just so you can turn around and call me a fucking alcoholic as soon as I drink. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's
dude.
what they do. They put you in a double bind where if you drink, you're an alcoholic, but then they say, like, you're not worth watching unless you're drunk. Yes, you caught on to it.
They're mean people, King Cobra. They're bullying you.
Thank you all for watching the live. I'll catch you later. And thank you for your
Bye, King
donations.
Cobra.
King Cobra.
What a sweet boy.
I think Ruby Jules and King Cobra should collaborate on an album.
Ruby Jules.
Yeah. Remember this one? He has a pan flute.
Yeah. I typed in melancholy Asperger's daydream into one of those AI song makers, and this actually came out. Honest in his own way.
I want Cobra to do a verse, and then I want Ruby Jules to do a verse.
Manchurian Candidate triggering stuff, Agent Orange triggering stuff. This is honestly, Crooks probably watched this before he went to that rally. This is the equivalent of feeding a Boglum after midnight.
What?
For the ya-ya-ba.
Ya-ya-ba. We should send Ruby Jules to go meet Naked and Laughing. How about that?
Dude, Ruby Jules would
knock her up,
croon his way into her heart.
Actually, I think he had a vasectomy. Remember when he was telling Egghead he should get a vasectomy?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we had the match between him and Egghead in Actual Mania, and it was like live, and they went head to head, and they were like fingering their own buttholes and everything?
I almost forgot, Ben. I almost forgot.
Well, you're welcome, sir. Mountain Dew, Doritos, not tipping on Chatterbait.
Which are actually the 3 best ingredients into a food hack. Honest in its own way. Really nasty fat fans should start an account right now called Boglum2988, and swing in and get all these boogie haters on their jock.
Lie about
Boogie's
having
off the internet right now.
Lie about having liver cancer.
Lie about having like butthole cancer.
I do have I had this thing from Melanie Mack, how she was mad about Amber Rose at the RNC.
Lol. Why is she mad? Because she wasn't there? That's just hating.
No, because she's like a degenerate or whatever. So
I already lost some followers on X for saying this stuff, but I don't care. I'm prepared to lose some more on YouTube today because it is what it is, and I will speak truth.
But I digress.
And I don't care about the follower count.
Yeah, speak your truth.
Changes from it. So yesterday at the RNC, we saw not only a platformed prostitute, and yes, you can't say, oh, you're judging her past. No, she is an active prostitute, which I will dive more into this in the video with receipts. But they also had a demonic prayer, a prayer to a demon, prayed over the nation to a demon.
During the RNC?
But oh yeah, we're gonna get the votes now. We're gonna save the country. Turn your back on God, and it doesn't matter who is president. We will not succeed. Let me go ahead and dive into the video.
This is an old thing that's been around forever where they're like, oh, if you piss off God, he's just going to go to a different country and take care of them.
I think it's kind of smart for the Republicans to go after the Satanist vote after they've locked up the Christian vote.
And actually show some stuff. So, you know, yesterday we get the news of, okay, Vance is going to be the vice president. I was like, okay, who is this? I don't know that much. Well, then I do some research. I see,
oh my
he's
God,
an anti-LGBTQ extremist. So I'm thinking, okay, this is good.
Is she going to say Vance is satanic because he plays Magic the Gathering cards?
I don't think so.
So far, so good, right? Because if it's one thing we learn in the Bible and just from seeing in our society in general, what happens when this LGBTQ ideology infests itself.
For those of you who don't know, we watched the movie that is based on J.D. Vance's memoir. There's a Ron Howard directed film. And
Hillbilly Elegy.
Yeah, and his mom is just like a psycho throughout the whole. The mom is like his mom is like the antagonist in the movie, basically, for most of it.
She do drugs.
Yeah, and beats him up and like all kinds of stuff.
In society crumbles. We see this time and time again. So this isn't a matter of just, oh, you're just judging people for doing what they want to do in their own privacy. It affects the whole entire world. And yes, I also do care that these people are losing their eternal soul to
Why
degeneracy.
don't you talk about how Grindr crashed because of the Republican National Convention and all the closet people there at their RNC that had to keep Grindr on in case they could sneak suck a penis at the event? Why don't you talk about that, Melanie Mack? Why are you kind of forgetting that one? It literally crashed Grindr. Has she talked about that? I would love to see her mention how the RNC was full of people on Grindr who were trying to sneak around and suck a penis while they hated the gays.
I don't want to see that. And I also don't want to see it poison society and ruin society, right? So then I'm like, okay, God bless America, feeling extra patriotic and stuff because, you know, the events that happen in God saving Donald Trump and protecting Donald Trump over the weekend. I mean, we witnessed a miracle, right? So it was like, okay, I'm seeing, okay, a lot of people are seeing this. A lot of people are seeing the presence of God and the impact that God had saving Donald Trump's life. Okay, get
Why
a little
didn't God
white pill.
just like hit the shooter with a lightning bolt or something before he even got a chance to shoot it? Like, why did God make Trump get shot in the ear and like an innocent person got killed?
Yeah,
did
you know how
God want that?
works. Yeah, of course. It's never good enough for God just to save a life. He's got to take one too. There's a supreme balance. There's a divine balance that God has.
Here,
and
right?
of course, God
Wow.
would choose a firefighter who has chosen to serve and risk his life for the health of others.
Yeah, in
God's
fires.
so smart.
maybe there's hope for the world. Well, then I see this. A prostitute platformed at the RNC. And people, oh, but
Yeah,
I
you
want her
call her
vote,
a
but I want her.
prostitute, but to be fair, she's really a
Yeah.
rapper's girlfriend. Multiple rappers' girlfriends, okay? Not a prostitute.
Oh, great. That would be awesome if we got her vote. But she could have easily just made some sort of Instagram video, or she can just vote. Why is she being platformed on the stage
to bring
at the
new
RNC?
eyes and potential voters to their
Yeah.
party?
And because she's stacked.
She doesn't fit the mold, and that's why they wanted her there. Like, if they just bring in people that fit the mold, they're not going to bring any new eyes to their convention and to vote for their candidate.
And C, why is a prostitute being propped up at the stage? This is an abomination to.
I mean, didn't Trump pay like a porn star to keep her mouth shut about having sex with them? That's kind of like prostitution. I'm sure Trump
Yeah,
has
he
paid prostitutes before. I guarantee it.
Well, probably. But when you're that rich, you don't really have to pay directly because it's assumed that you're going to take care of everything anyways.
He tried to pay what's her name after they hooked up. Oh, I can't remember her name right now. The brown-haired Playboy playmate that Karen McDougal. That's her name. Karen McDougal.
God. She obviously, we pray that she will find Jesus and repent and turn from this, but this is an abomination to God. So how can you expect the nation to be blessed if you are propping up abominations to God? And I will add more to this in a minute. But also in her speech, okay, so she said Trump supporters don't care if people are gay or straight. Wrong. Many of us do care. We don't want to see anyone lose their souls to sexual immorality or poison our nation with abominations against God. Right? But that's not it. That's not all.
Moral sex is so boring.
She just uses the shield of religion to be a cunt and like justify it. That's really what she does. Like, she just decides, because you can claim you have the authority of God, so you're never wrong about anything, and that justifies acting like a total cunt. You know, like that's what she does.
She is a trashy human being.
Yeah.
And she loves that all her simps are trashy human beings that will stand in her way when she gets deplatformed or any flack comes her way. She has an army of little simps that support her and say, "Oh, don't worry, Melanie Mac. You're so smart. We're so proud of you for calling the F word." Was this her?
That's That's Trump and Karen McDougal. That's who I was talking about. Like because she got interviewed around the time that like the Stormy Daniels stuff came out, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, I hooked up with Trump a bunch of times, and he offered to pay me he tried to give me money, and I turned it down."
She was like, "Nah, Trump."
But it sounded like she had like a real crush on him. Like she actually liked him. Yeah, she was like Playmate of the Year back in the day and stuff.
Prayer to a demon.
Prayer to a demon? Is that what this is?
Listen to what she says.
I want to God. Dear Waheguru, I want
Waheguru, whatever. Waheguru.
Dear Waheguru, our one true God.
She says it right there. Some people are like, "Oh, but she's talking about our God. She's talking about
Which
the
God
real
is
God, the one
Waheguru?
true God." Wahegu? Are you retarded?
It's the Sikh term for God. So it's
Waheguru.
It's just another name for God in like another language. But it's not Abrahamic. I don't believe.
But does God have to be Abrahamic to be that God? Like, could everybody just have their own opinion of what the one true God is?
You'd think, but there are some that recognize what you just said, and then there are some that only recognize Abrahamic, like they believe like the Jewish and Christian and Muslim gods are all the same one, and then there are some that are like, no, when, you know, like I've heard a lot of Christians. I wouldn't be surprised if she has this opinion that like when they say Allah, that's not the same God as hers. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you serious? Are you justifying a freaking demon?
I
It's
wonder
not a
why Melanie
demon.
Mack is single at this age.
She's such a cunt.
Why does nobody love her?
She's such a cunt. Like, she's not ugly, so she probably could date someone. She's just like such a vicious cunt that no one would want to. You know?
I love how Wahi Guru translates to Wow God.
Wonderful God, yeah. Yeah.
It's the Wow God. Melanie Mack does not like the Wow God.
It's not a demon.
Oh no, but she's talking about people. How did people not boo her off the stage?
How did they not? One, they don't know
She
who
prayed
Wahi
to a
Guru is.
demon, and people are in the audience with their cowboy hats, some of them bowing their head and praying to it. What is going on? Read your Bibles, people!
Well, maybe as a religious person, you can also respect other people's religious ideals because you yourself want yours to be respected, and you don't want to come off as some egregious cunt.
Oh my God!
It
If
makes
they
other people hate your religion.
if they had it their way, we'd go back to the Dark Ages where it was like illegal to be a different religion. Like they would love it. Like people like her, they would love it if like if Christianity was just like the official religion of America, they'd be fine with that. Like,
Yeah, that's so stupid. If I believed in God, I would definitely want people to have to make the choice to believe with me.
Of course,
I'd
yeah.
be like, man, I don't want you forced to believe because if you're not a true believer, if it's not in your heart, I don't want you standing side by side with me.
Yeah.
If I believed in God, what I actually believe in is a lot worse than God.
How did this? How was this acceptable?
We thank you for creating America as a unique.
Wahi Guru created America. This is blasphemy.
That's not what she
This is
said.
open-
That is not what she just said. She did not say why he created America.
Why don't you accept other religions? Why don't freedom of religion? She can pray to whatever demon she wants to in her own time, but we
She can do it there too. Just as much as you have a right to do it, she can do it too.
should not, as Americans, be.
See, she wants to like keep. It's so counterintuitive. If you want to grow your party and get your people into office and get the votes, you got to welcome in people who are different from you. You can't only welcome the people you like and approve of.
Yeah, it's especially stupid when you're the majority and you're like, no, sorry, this tiny little sect of people is too powerful to stand up to our Christian majority.
Yeah.
Makes you look super weak.
Sikhs aren't even the majority religion in India. They're a way more obscure religion. It's just India's such a huge country with so many people. There are quite a few of them, you know, around the world. There's a Sikh running for Senate as a Republican in Washington. I can't remember his name right now, but I've seen his signs. He's not going to win because he's a Republican running in Washington, but he's running as a Republican. So there are Sikhs that are Republican. Apparently, I mean, we're seeing it. So
Standing for and applauding and supporting someone on a platform praying over the nation to a demon. She just
The way
cursed
she says
our
it makes her look
country
even
on
stupider.
what she's doing is like any god that's not the real god is a demon. So if you worship any other god, it's a demon. That's the logic.
The way she's saying it though, I have to tell it's a demon. It makes her look like even more of a dumb person.
Yeah, it's annoying.
stage and you're supporting it?
Supporting it?
This is insane.
No.
Okay. So there's that. And then
Is that
people,
it?
you know, they don't
Melanie
like it. They
Macaroni?
get mad at me because this, well, you're not going to reach the lost like this. You're not going to reach the lost like that. You can't just share things so harshly. You have to change it. And this is the thing is if you are changing the word of God, to try to make people convert. You're just manipulating people into calling themselves Christians. You're not actually helping people to seek repentance. I said God didn't tell us to manipulate people into calling themselves Christians. Who gives a crap about that? If call yourself a Christian but don't believe in the Bible, then you're not a Christian. He told us to share the gospel. If you have to sugarcoat, change, or omit any of it, you're doing it wrong. People with ears to hear the truth.
The Bible's already been edited. You don't have the original version of the Bible. You have someone a version of the Bible that somebody approved at some point.
Yeah,
So
and she's not really sticking to any actual version of the Bible either.
There's so many different versions.
She's just pissing out her talking points and saying Bible, Bible, Bible behind.
Yeah.
We'll hear
you know,
it,
as far
and-
as her e-girl report card goes, she might have a couple of B's, but she's definitely getting a D- in English.
Be saved. Whether or not they do is not in our control. We share the message, but it is Christ who saves them, not us. How insulting to God it must be to hear people say you must filter his word because people won't hear it otherwise. God's word is sufficient. God's word is all powerful. So hearing the truth
Dude,
of
I can't
God's
imagine
word,
being somebody who listens to her and gets hyped up by this. It's like, hell yeah, you tell them, Melanie Mac.
Yeah.
and it's God who brings these people to repentance, who saw
Starving children don't exist, amazing atheist.
Yeah, this is like G-Man, who, except she was speaking to a crowd full of people that can't find the G spot.
Why would you debate me, amazing atheist?
softens their heart. It's not, oh, you did a really good job at convincing somebody. It's not by our own work. Share the truth in love, but love doesn't mean that you change it. Love doesn't mean that you validate sin or that you sugarcoat things. Telling people the truth, the harsh truth that they don't want to hear, that is love. Okay,
Well, here's the
so
harsh
this is
truth,
something called
love. Here's the harsh truth, love. The Republican National Convention is not a Christian meetup. You're lucky that the Christian group has put the Republicans in the place they are in America right now. But the Christian group is not even the driving force of the Republican Party right now. It's MAGA. You guys have been outbid by people who are ideologues for Donald Trump.
It's
That's
only
the
a
truth.
It's only a type of Christian voter that would go Republican. Like a few different types. You know,
well,
like
they pump.
Yeah, it's usually like evangelicals and Mormons that would vote, you know, mostly Republican. There's plenty of like Catholics and Lutherans and stuff that would vote Democrat.
They pumped really big into that Christian run though for George W. Bush.
Yeah, that's
that was part of the
evangelicals.
campaign plan.
Yeah, that's evangelicals.
They very much made that the driving force of the party for a while. That was what really put them over the top with George W.
Longman post he made, which I really liked. You can read it all if you want, but he says, those coping in the replies, America was founded as a Christian nation and should have Christian leaders. If you still believe in the separation of church and state garbage as a right-winger, you're not going to make it. That's the thing. This was to protect the faith. It wasn't to... if you... I just encourage you to just read all this. But anyway, if you call yourself a Christian and, oh, we should celebrate or we should separate our politics from our faith, then you're not following the Bible. Read the Bible.
It is
Read
nice though
First
that she's
Kings
been
and
able to separate intelligence from politics.
Second Kings, and you'll see God does not bless nations that turn their back on him. So it doesn't matter if Donald Trump can't save us, only Jesus Christ can. Donald Trump has said this himself. Do I want Donald Trump to be our president? Absolutely. But to think that manipulating people through degeneracy to vote for Donald Trump and then all of a sudden he's going to fix everything, it don't work like that. If you blaspheme God, you blaspheme Jesus Christ, we will not be blessed.
Oh.
And they did just that, blasphemed God on stage. So again, I said, this is a sick joke. If the GOP doesn't turn their eyes on God and boldly oppose degeneracy.
I saw, you remember Spexo?
Yeah.
I saw Spexo on Twitter. He was replying to like Elon Musk or something. Elon Musk said something about like freedom of speech, like what types of speech should be banned or whatever.
Oh wow.
And Spexo was like only blasphemy. So like you should be able to do any other type of speech, even like threats and that kind of stuff. But blasphemy should like be illegal.
So stupid. It is illegal if you believe in God, you dumbass.
I mean,
you don't get in heaven if you blaspheme, you idiot.
I think he
Why
means,
does it need to be law down here?
Right, he means like earthly law, like blasphemy.
Yeah, which is stupid. Earthly law doesn't. If you actually believe in God,
in the
then
Old
law
Testament,
on earth.
in the Old Testament though, it did apply to earthly law. If you blasphemed God in like ancient Israel, you'd be stoned to death.
Dum.
So it is actually in the Bible. It is more so like if you're actually consistent with biblical views, then you are a fucking wretched piece of shit because you have to be to believe
Did we
in
bring
a lot
slavery back then?
I mean, that's part of it too. I mean, slavery. The Bible was used to justify slavery in America for a very long time because it was in the Bible, and you can't argue with God.
Then they're doomed and will deserve the consequences they brought on themselves. You don't beat the left by acting like them. Why this is such a hard concept for all the people mad in my replies to see is astounding.
Is it?
And then I said, people are mad when we say OF prostitutes shouldn't be speaking at the RNC. Sodom and Gomorrah.
So she's saying she's a prostitute because she's on OnlyFans, which is like, she's not actually fucking anybody, like that pays for her OnlyFans. That's not happening.
Makes sense. And Melanie Mack's not a prostitute because she doesn't use OnlyFans. She uses her only brain cell.
All over again. Reprobates everywhere. Demonic prayer and active prostitute on stage. Conservative doesn't mean anything anymore. You aren't owning the libs. You became them. Oh, but we gotta win. But I care more about winning. You're not winning if you're becoming them, are you? So I said, God save Trump's life.
All
And
voting
the
for Trump
RNC
because
blasphemed him
Trump
today.
is progressive now.
Lord help us, which is exactly what happened. It's like I was feeling so white pill, things were looking good, we're at a good trajectory. All right. This looks good. People are seeing, I've seen it all over my timeline. People are like, wow, okay, a lot of people have opened their eyes to, wow, God is real. Just after seeing what happened over the weekend. So to just take that
Why isn't she complaining about Hulk Hogan?
And to blaspheme God at the convention like that? That is a disgrace.
Hulk Hogan literally got fired from his job for saying the N-word in a sex tape while he was fucking his best friend Bubba's wife. Is that not degeneracy?
And then Bubba kept the video of it, and you know Bubba's a YouTube streamer now. It's ridiculous.
Oh wow, that makes sense.
He is. He still has it. He still handles it like his radio show, and they like have all the different, you know, he has like a whole crew of people and everything, and they all sit in the same room. But he can't handle getting trolled. Like he reacts to the chat, like he gets trolled a lot. It's pretty funny.
Oh wow.
Guys, we can't win without a bigger tent.
And he always talks about the Hogan stuff. Him and Hogan are not friends anymore.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because more than likely, he claims it didn't have, he claims someone broke into his office and stole the recording, but it's like, why did you have it labeled what it was in your desk in your office? Like, why not just delete the...
right?
Why not delete the footage if you didn't want it to fall... Even if it was stolen from him, the fact that he kept it and, labeled what it was, I would say that alone... Hold on. I would say that alone, without the consent of having filmed it, is illegal in of itself.
Maybe it's illegal, but you don't just let a guy fuck your wife and not keep the cool cuck video that you can jerk it to. Like, obviously,
it leaked
you want
and
to
he
jerk
was
it to his
liable
wife.
for that.
Yeah. get for having fantasies.
And he may have done it. He may have done it to profit off of it, but we don't.
Which
know.
is likely as well.
Don't believe in the power of Christ if you think you have to counter his word by affirming and marketing to reprobates to win an election. Here's the thing, is people who support all of these abominations and prostitution, people are worshiping demons, all of that. You think this is gonna sway their votes? Why would that sway their votes when
recent video clip of Amber Rose sitting down and talking highly of Satanism. It's from like a few months ago. I'm surprised Melanie Mack hasn't found that and commented on it. 'Cause that's a way better point for her little crybaby thing here. She talked about that instead of just saying, "Hey, seek people, speak to demons."
Has their best interest, their belief system. It's like, oh, I'm gonna sway my vote for a left light. Makes no sense.
No, that's a
You're just
fleshlight.
Diet Coke version of the left. Why? This you could. Oh, but we gotta convince people. You know how you convince people to change? You show them that they were wrong.
You force them.
And I've been on
Force
both
them.
sides of the political spectrum. I grew up conservative, Christian. Then I went through a rebellious stage, turned from that, went more to the left. Rebelled against my faith. And what brought
And
me
I
back
got old and
to-
realized that I wasn't going to make any money siding with the left. As a grifter, I had to turn right.
the conservative side and to my faith wasn't that, oh, they made it for a modern audience. They didn't Sweet Baby Ink it for me. They didn't make, oh, wait, this is fine. We're going to change this to accommodate you. No, I changed. I said, wait a minute, I was wrong. And I am moving to this other side because
So why not get off of YouTube? Because there's all this degeneracy and shit on YouTube. Why would you stay on a site that supports that and platforms that?
She's got to fight for God.
Oh.
because I was wrong and I need change. That's how you, oh, how are we going to convince other votes? You're going to show them the degeneracy of society and what accepting prostitution, and, oh, the OnlyFans is a prostitution. It is. So accepting
It's not.
and promoting and empowering.
Prostitution is illegal, so if OnlyFans was prostitution, it would get shut down. It's not.
Yeah, the only difference between what you're doing right now and OnlyFans is that you're convincing yourself that the weird guys watching you don't jerk off to you.
Prostitution, accepting, promoting, and empowering.
I'm pretty sure Jesus accepted prostitutes, right?
I mean, he kicked it with them, right? That
Yeah.
was the story.
Yeah.
Fornication, promiscuity, premarital sex,
Oh
homosexuality.
yeah, you never had premarital sex, huh?
Cutting people's
She never had good premarital sex, I would
body
bet.
parts off in the name of transgender ideology. Look what this has spiraled out of control. So anybody with eyes can see, wait a minute, accepting degeneracy just creates more degeneracy and society gets out of control. So instead of platforming degeneracy and saying, hey, look guys, we're cool. We accept degeneracy too. We accept demon worship. It's fine. No, it's not fine. It's not fine.
Hey, I'm just saying that by being on YouTube and telling your followers to watch your YouTube videos, you're exposing them to the other things on YouTube that you would consider degeneracy. So you're, in a way, bringing people to this platform to possibly be exposed to it. So you're part of it too.
I'm just saying you're an annoying person. That's what
So
I'm
then
saying.
someone's my replies, demonic is when other religions exist. Correct. Jesus Christ is the only way. Everything else is demonic.
Frog Tony says this
Correct.
divorced chick who cheated on her husband has no room to talk. Hey, Frog Tony, it's not fair to say that. She's still single after cheating on her husband and getting divorced. So the guy she cheated with didn't even stay with her.
I'm sick and tired of this subjective truth. Oh, well, this is your truth. This is my truth. Look where we're at in society. How do we get here? There is truth, and anything not that is not truth.
Yeah,
that
and when
is
you're the
just a
one
fact.
dictating what truth is, I don't care what truth is. And that is just a fact.
Of life. You can't kumbaya. Oh, we all need to unite. No, you don't unite good with evil.
Hope Dix lives up to
Whoa!
Go eat them dicks.
Yeah, yeah. Eat some dicks. Do they have dicks in Tacoma?
I don't know. Do they?
I don't think they do. Do they?
I think you can go to Federal Way is the closest.
Yeah.
So
And
not
that's like
too far.
halfway between here and Tacoma, right? Federal Way?
I think Federal Way is closer than half, but
Okay.
Friendship
I think it's the other side of half.
with the world is enmity with
Could be
God.
about
This
halfway,
is
though,
scripture. You don't believe in that the power of Christ alone is strong enough to make a change in
It
this
does not
nation and to
compel me.
elect good leaders in this nation? Really? You think you have to promote degeneracy?
Well, Christ actually didn't offer to show up at the RNC, so they had to go with Amber Rose.
Hogan did, though.
Yeah, brother.
That's the thing. It's when you stoop to these levels and you promote demon worship and degeneracy, and then, oh, let's say you get your result you wanted. You got the president you wanted. He ain't gonna fix everything if he's not leaning on Christ. And this is not leaning.
Yeah, Federal Way is the closest location to Tacoma. And it is pretty close. It's probably, what, like 20 minutes away from Tacoma?
Yeah.
On Christ. This is why I pray, and I encourage everyone else to pray, that Donald Trump will be convicted for the evil that took place at the RNC yesterday.
What? Wow! Oh my God! So she's hoping that because of what happened at the RNC, Donald Trump gets convicted for all these crimes that he's been indicted for. He was already convicted of some.
Yeah, sorry, Melanie. God obviously likes Trump. He saved his life.
And that he will feel conviction from the Holy Spirit. Because this is unacceptable. I said 1 Kings and 2
Cobra
Kings in the
Commander
Bible
says,
demonstrate.
quote, pick me, her. Yeah, she is very much, she is the epitome of pick me.
Yeah.
Where rulers who did not tear down idols and who did not end prostitution caused turmoil for Israel. God did not bless them unless they were obedient in this way. Yesterday at the RNC, they prayed to a demon and propped a prostitute. Let that sink in. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Is he though? Because like he created the world in a very specific way, and then humans fucked it up according to the Bible, and he had to like punish them and make them wear clothes, and because they had the knowledge of good and evil. And then he hit the reset button later on, where he like killed everyone on Earth except for like a couple people, and then so it doesn't.
And he sent his son down to reset everything.
Yeah. So it doesn't sound like he can make up his mind, and it never really works. And then he has to like have a contingency plan.
As infallible as y'all say God is, he sure does have these last minute amendments that he has to make.
So if you have this sort of delusion that thinks you can separate God from this country and expect it to be blessed, good luck seeing how that works out. That's why we're here right now.
Oh, you're so stupid.
And
I
it's
hate you.
only going to get worse if we don't stand up against it. So I said, looks like Sweet Baby Inc. consulted for the RNC yesterday, which, if you're a gamer, you know what I'm talking about. Woke company. So then someone was
If
talking
you're
about,
a gamer, you
they
know what
didn't
I'm
know
talking
that
about.
Amber Rose,
Yeah,
he
you're
was
using
defending
gamer
Amber.
talking points for your Coomer gamer audience that just wants to nod their head and say, yeah, you're so right. You're so right, Melanie Mac. You're so right. I'm going to jerk it to you tonight. You're so right. God
Rose,
damn.
He didn't realize she still had an active OF. And so he goes, I stand corrected. Gross, I stand corrected. Good for him for being able to do that. I said, I watched Amber Rose's speech.
As much as I don't believe in Jesus, I do believe Jesus was a better person than the majority of people I see on YouTube talking in his name.
Searched if she had an OF. She was active on it minutes after her RNC speech. Y'all got duped.
I was looking at Melanie Mac's ex-husband's Twitter, and Boogie follows him on Twitter. It's kind of funny.
Guy.
I watched her speech. It didn't sit right with me. I felt conviction, like, wow. I felt my discernment kick in. This is wrong. This is demonic. So then I go and I'm like, oh, let me make sure that I didn't just, my impression wasn't wrong. Let me make sure maybe she doesn't do this stuff anymore. Maybe she found Jesus, and I don't want to
The
judge
biggest
somebody who's
difference
found
between
Jesus.
her and the vigilant Christian is the vigilant Christian is more fuckable.
I wonder how Mario's doing these days. Haven't seen anything from him in a few years now. So
I hope he's retired doing orgy with the godly bros.
Jesus and his changed from their past, you know? I go and search. Her OF was not only still there, but active. Minutes. She got off that RNC stage and opened up her OF app. That's exactly what
Hell
happened.
yeah. I love that.
maybe Eric July will let Melanie write a comic book for him.
I hope he lets Amber Rose write a comic book for him before Melanie Mack.
Don't be delusional to think you didn't get played. And then here, I have a screenshot. Amber Rose added
Wasn't
a
Melanie Mack
50%
at the meetup that
Yes.
Riley got arrested at?
Yes, they're all interconnected. So that's why I was saying that they actually
The
already.
fucking the hate squad.
There's crossover. They have crossover audience.
off sale to her prostitution page and stated she is finally going to be more active again, just in time for her RNC speech. Wow, how convenient. Look how much conservative values she has.
Melanie Mack should write a comic book that is a parody of the Squirrel Girl comic book character. And she should play Girl Girl, a girl that was born a girl and lives her life as a girl. That'd be a wonderful conservative fucking gender relation comic book.
Oh, but why are
Reading
you
Girl
judging?
Girl
Why are
Day
you judging?
One.
She is promoting degeneracy, and I am
Degeneracy.
calling out the sin. I hope she finds Jesus and turns from this. But right now, she is pushing degeneracy and abomination to this nation.
I love how people can spew hatred and then follow it up with, I hope she finds Jesus. That's like the equivalent of saying, no offense, but.
Yep.
Said, I wonder what RNC Day 2 has in store. Maybe they'll sacrifice a child to Moloch on stage. Gotta sway those lib votes after all. Some people are so mad.
See, it's shit like that that makes me think she knows she's full of shit, and she's just making the money from this audience that she found.
Dude. Probably. Like, early on, when I first saw her popping up before I knew her political alignment, videos of her going viral complaining about like pick me male things were going viral, and she was eating a stick of butter in them. And I'm like, oh, she's obviously a fucking troll.
She was like
She's
giving it a
obviously-
beach.
Yeah, well, no, she just had a stick of butter in her hand.
Oh,
And
I
it was
thought she
like-
was like.
It had nothing to do with the video. She was just talking some pick me bullshit, eating a stick of butter. Like this is the because when people are trolling, they usually have a tell.
Was she on like a?
I'm gonna go outside
or something?
I hope so. I mean,
Okay.
I thought it was just her being a troll, so that people would then respond, "Why are you eating butter?" Because that's what trolls do to get more people talking shit about their videos. They put a catch to get people to talk
Yeah.
shit.
Do you remember the big Trisha Paytas one, the dogs don't have brains video?
Yeah, Trisha Paytas was great. Remember when she posted a picture of her butthole on the internet for everybody to see? It was a huge blown up picture, and she didn't bother checking.
I remember you talking about it all the time, so I made sure not to go look
Yeah.
at it.
She didn't bother checking the very high definition close up picture of her butthole for flecks of toilet paper in it. Like, you don't put something that clear and brown and round onto the internet without checking if it's spotless.
Mad.
She
I've
did that on
lost like
purpose.
500 followers over this. I don't care. I don't care. I can lose every single one of them if I have to. I don't care. I wasn't afraid of being canceled back during the COVID jab and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not afraid of being canceled by Republicans now. I don't give a crap. My
I would like to see her get canceled. When's she getting
allegiance
canceled?
is not in man. It is in Christ.
For something. What's a good reason?
That's
She should be
it.
canceled for existing.
So if anybody is supporting degeneracy and they think that we're gonna win through degeneracy, you of little faith. You of little faith. So
You
at this
of
point,
little
do I still
faith.
want to vote for Donald Trump? Yes, but am I 100% convinced that I will be voting at all? No. I want to see how more of this plays out.
I'm glad she put a jacket on Tomb
Because
Raider.
I don't think that electing whoever is going to save the nation. We will only be saved.
What's that thing that looks like a giant beer bottle, but it has Pittsburgh Steelers logo on it?
I think there is a giant beer bottle with the Pittsburgh Steelers logo on it next to maybe a gel blaster or something.
Yeah, that's a gun from Halo, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
If we turn to Jesus Christ, and Donald Trump needs to put us in that position as well.
A Halo
And
needler.
I pray that the rest of whatever's going on at this convention is definitely different, because this is unacceptable.
I wonder what she said
We
about
will
day
not
two.
be blessed
Fuck.
as a nation if we support this. And that's the thing, is so many people are like, oh, well, just get the votes and then let him be president and then he'll clean house after. Oh, so you're saying just lie and manipulate people into getting their votes, then change.
How
Then
could she
change
go from
everything and pull
calling
the rug
Trump-
from under them. How about we...
Your mic's fucking up.
Go from saying that Trump's assassination attempt failure was a miracle to now saying that Trump is not in God's good grace.
Yeah, and
within
she
1 week.
says she hopes Trump gets convicted.
Yeah, I mean, if God pulled a miracle to keep Trump alive, and then 1 week later Trump was doing things against God, then your God sucks. Your God's like, I choose Trump, then 1 week later he's failing. You should stop believing in God if God could let that happen.
They've always allowed people of other religions at the Republican convention. She's acting like this is just a new thing that they just started doing. It's not true. They've always invited, because they need the votes. There's a ton. They need to win Michigan, and there's a ton of Muslims that live in Michigan. They need to get at least some of those votes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is.
She's a two-faced Karen.
Yeah.
Be honest? Yeah, because that's sure going to make people trust the Republican Party again next term. Short-term
Damn,
gains?
Seth looks.
I'm looking at
Good
the long
point.
game. Our nation will not be blessed without focusing on Jesus Christ. Period. So, stay mad. I don't know what else to say. But
I heard Jesus Christ was going to
that's
speak
that.
at the DNC.
I'm not afraid of losing followers. Wasn't afraid of it during the pandemic stuff. Not afraid of it now. So
Okay.
it is what it is.
Why is she
You're
bringing that
so
up? That's
brave.
completely different.
Because she wants to keep her sycophants happy. Said, remember me when I stood up against the pandemic,
Yeah.
guys, and we all loved that.
Yeah.
Don't forget me now. Now
Remember
that I'm
the
talking
heyday?
against Papa
Remember
Trump.
the good old days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a giant tampon under Laura Croft's arm there? Or is that an inflatable stick of butter?
It does look like a big inflatable stick of butter. It has the cut lines on it.
Yeah, it's probably butter.
Yeah. Yes, it is. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up for the night.
Yeah. Thank y'all for hanging on a special Sunday Biden drops the fuck out episode of Drunken Peasants.
Yep. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
I'm an incel, mindful as shit. I'm a Christian, and I have every tense. I'm a Buddhist, and I wear no clothes. I'm a pedo, and I think that shows. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playground you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playgrounds, watching kids playing. I'm an alpha, I live with my dad. You're a synth bro, and I'm just a Chad. I'm a black belt, you know what it is. And my carpet is all covered in jizz. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playgrounds, watching kids playing. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playgrounds, watching kids playing. I'm Jared Genesis. Do you know what I am saying? I'm hanging at playgrounds, watching kids playing.
Not a chance in hell that I think that he was the most popular president in U.S. history in 2020. There's no way, right? As the votes showed, saying he was the most popular president in history. I don't believe that. You know, in 2020, they had social distancing and all that kind of stuff on their side, but that is played out. No one's going to play that game anymore. And it's honestly too late to even play it. Now, here's the letter that he released today. And basically says, over the past 3.5 years, we've made a great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world, which is a lie. He's lying. I mean, this is the thing about these folks. They just tell lies and they expect sheep to believe them, and a lot of sheep do. He says, we've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors.
It's not very
affordable health care
strong anymore.
for Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances. We passed the first gun safety law in 30 years. Like, that's something to brag about. He said it appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court.
What?
And passed the most significant climate legislation.
What did you have your mod at?
Been better positioned to lead than we are today. I mean, come on. No one is enjoying America, not even leftists. They're all complaining about it. Anyway, he goes on. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame once-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, which we haven't overcame it, and you caused it, buddy. We protected and preserved our democracy, and we revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It is the greatest honor of my life to serve as president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude for those who have worked hard to see me re-elected. I want to thank Vice President Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all of this work, and let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, this was his letter. But I do find it odd that there's no presidential seal here. Like, did he even write this letter? Does he even know this letter exists? Because even up until this morning, he's going to win the election. I mean, he's been saying that. He's never steered away from that he wasn't going to run. He said this the whole time. So it's very strange all of a sudden now, because a few days ago we heard people saying that he'll be gone by the weekend, and it turned out to be true. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I've been saying that over and over and over again. Where there's smoke, there's fire, guys. That's all you got to do. Smell the smoke, right? But let me make this very clear. Biden is only stepping down because the attempt on Donald Trump was not successful. 100%. They didn't mean for Biden to step down as nominee. They meant for Trump to to get JFK, and then Biden would have cruised his way back into the White House because Republicans would have been so devastated by that. But because if you look back, because I said this last week, if you look back, leading up to the debate, there's no talk of him stepping down. He goes into the debate and gets demolished. Everyone calls for him to step down. And then all of a sudden, the week before the assassination attempt, everybody's like, we got to stand behind our guy. You can go back and look. All of them were saying it. Oh, he's the nominee. We need to stand behind him. Because they didn't think Trump would exist by the weekend. However, he defied death. Now, everyone was calling for him to back down again. After that didn't happen, everybody was saying, step down, Joy. Now, the other thing is that if he ends his re-election campaign, how can he even justify being president? Obviously, he's stepping down because the drug cocktails are just not working anymore, or they're so detrimental to his health, he's not going to exist much longer. Because you have to see the various, if you look at the various different times Joe Biden has spoke, you see different versions of him. And people even have went as far as to say, even me, that maybe there's a masked guy. Who knows? But if you vote Democrat, that means you're okay with a shadow government, because what you just saw was the shadow government telling him to step down. And the entirety of his presidency, because obviously he's been failing to dementia or something. And he's not been in control of anything. So there's been a shadow government that has been in control. And let's be very clear about exactly what just happened. The Democrat Party, the DNC, forced the nominee off the ballot just 100 days before election. And what this deal was, this threw all the votes of 14 million Americans who voted for Joe Biden in the Democrat primaries in the garbage. You just saw the DNC shadow government say, screw your vote, we're picking our candidate because Joe Biden is not polling well. Now, to be honest, it would have been better for Joe Biden to stay in the race for us as Americans. It would have been better because whatever ace they have up their sleeve, I can assure you is much worse. I can assure you of that. Biden immediately threw his support towards cackling Kamala. Now, Barack Obama refused to endorse Kamala Harris, saying Democrats will select an outstanding nominee and express confidence in the party's ability to find a strong candidate. That's his words. So Obama has just shown his face that he's leading a shadow government and just said to hell with everybody. If you're a Democrat, if you're on the left watching this video right now, you cannot look at your party and say they're the party of the left. Because they just said, we're throwing your votes in the trash. We don't care what you say. We're going to pick our best nominee, our strongest candidate. So personally, I don't believe Kamala will be the pick. I've always thought that. I never thought she'd be the pick. And even AOC backs me up on this. Listen.
And I'm going to say what a lot of these folks aren't saying. I'm just going to say it. If you think that there is consensus among the people who want Joe Biden to leave, that they will support Vice President Harris, you would be mistaken. And I'm going to say that because if they're going to come out and say all their little things on background off the record, but they're not going to be fully honest, I'm going to be honest for them. I'm in these rooms. I see what they say in conversations. A lot of them are not just interested in removing the president. They are interested in removing the whole ticket.
Now you have to respect AOC. I can't stand it, but you have to respect her because she just signed her own sentence. She really did. She just went and told everyone what the truth is, which we know, but the sheep don't know this. They want a completely valid. Now, it could be Gavin Newsom as the VP, or maybe he's the pick. I mean, I think it would be a poor choice for Gavin Newsom. I really do. But Gavin just canceled his speech at the Ninth Circuit Judicial Conference in Sacramento on Monday, and he's canceled all appointments for the next 2 to 3 days. Strange. But you have to look at the polling here. Trump has a lead over Kamala. We knew that. We knew that. But there is talk that it could be two-time failed presidential candidate Hillary Rodham Clinton, and expected to run against Trump. Clinton is younger than both Biden and Trump. She's former Secretary of State, First Lady. She's part of the deep state. She did throw her support. Her and Bill did throw her support behind Kamala. But Alex says different. Check him out.
And we saw the Hill, all the news reporting Hillary set to replace Joe Biden. I called Roger Stone. I called other sources. They said, yeah, that's the word. They're really going to try to replace Joe Biden in Chicago with Hillary Clinton, with all of her criminal activity, all of her background, all of this. So they are.
So he's saying it. He obviously heard something. He knows something. And there's been other chatter. He's not the only one. I also think that would be a poor choice. Honestly, the only person that they say, quote unquote, polls better is Michelle Obama. Now, Michelle Obama has been very adamant she will run. But when you come in at the fourth quarter and your opposition was not expecting it, it's like bring out the special teams. I think it could be possible. Now, again, you look at all these folks.
Yeah.
Really think about this, guys. Like, I want to hit this home. I want to hit this home how dark this is. Like, I think a lot of people are brushing this off and not actually letting it saturate in their brain. Remember all the primaries that people participated in, all the donations, all the time and energy spent, and it was all for nothing. The DNC will handpick their candidate, completely disregarding those people who voted. Right? Votes. Americans' votes. Their voices are relevant. To me, what you're witnessing is nothing more than a coup, and I've been saying that. I said a coup is happening, and that's what this is. The shadow government said, F your pick. It shows your vote as a joke. It's just a formality. I like, here, let me show some tweets here. So the people who have been lecturing us about democracy just orchestrated a coup against the President of the United States. Exactly. Anyone still arguing Trump is a threat to democracy is a joke. Democrats just wiped out their entire primary system to replace their candidate with roughly 3,000 party elites voting. The will of their primary voters didn't matter at all. They staged an actual insurrection. It's true. Joe Biden, my fellow Democrats, I've decided not to accept the nomination, to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term, blah, blah, blah. So, the other thing is, let me also say this. Let me dive deeper in this, because I think a lot of people are just, it's the slow ball. I talk about this all the time. I think a lot of Americans, even conservatives, they take a lot of like grain of salt mentality towards the times. Like, I'm a survivalist, and I've been one for 25 years. I've thought the government's going to fail this whole time. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I prepare. You know what I mean? I'm not into a lot of things other people are, because I think the world is going to end. America's going to end, and I prepare for it. You know, I'm not into bushcrafting, carving spoons. I'm into survivability. And so I look at these things and see how it plays out and what I would do if I was evil overlord. And you think back to last week when Trump took a bullet in the ear. Think if it had been successful, it would have been a 2-for-1 because the opposition would have been removed. One. Number two, it would have been the strongest case in history to disarm Americans during the time that they would really need to disarm Americans. Reagan was shot, and it set forth the Brady Act, if you guys are old enough to know that. The Brady Act is the biggest anti-2A bill that's happened in America, other than the assault weapons ban that lasted for some time, not eternally, but the Brady bill has, and it has destroyed the Second Amendment. In my opinion, it's the worst thing that's ever happened to the Second Amendment. Because they stopped sticking at a U.S. president. If it had been the beloved Donald Trump, I think you'd even see conservatives jumping on. Some. Because you got to think, not all conservatives are AR-15 guys. Because I've seen, like during the bump stock debacle, that was Donald Trump was behind that actually. But whenever I've seen and spoke to other Americans, other quote unquote patriots, and they say, well, I don't care about a bump stock, I don't use those. It's not about if you use it or not. It's not about if you like it. It's about the fact is they're chipping away at freedoms. Chipping away at freedoms. In what better way would have been right after this? Now, I'm going to do another video probably tomorrow about that. I want to talk a little more in depth on that assassination attempt. I did break my finger, if you didn't know. If you see my finger, it is broken, but it's okay.
Yo, you still there, homie?
Anyway, guys, I wanted to share this. I want to know
My
your
bad,
thoughts.
just barely got back home.
I just don't see
Loading up once human so we can rock this game, dude.
I don't think none of them stand a chance. I think Big Mike will come out in the fourth quarter. Special teams. Trick play. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I want to know your thoughts, though. The Forgotten, been watching 5 years. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Josh Finley, thank you.
That's fucking big,
Trump was supposed to be sentenced on July 11th. Exactly. That's another reason why. He was supposed to be sentenced. They push it back because they're like, well, we don't need it. There's so much into this tomorrow's video. I'm going to talk about this. And you cannot question. You cannot question. Do not miss tomorrow's video. Because you cannot question what happened was in the shadow button setup. Solid rock. She could be, brother. She could be. Yeah, thanks, Solid Rock. Yep. It is. Shadow government exists. And HE, the U.S. border is wide open for a reason. Yeah, absolutely. You got to stay frosty, my friends. Stay frosty. Strapped and dangerous. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Who you think is going to come into play? Big Mike, fourth quarter. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Stay frosty, strapped, and dangerous. Thanks so much. Take care.
Just in time. Hope you've got ammo. This place should be full of Rosetta soldiers. Like I said, it's a Rosetta research center, used to study transcendence and deviations, even if that's not the case. I'm sure we could uncover something useful there. Thanks. And it's a good thing I met you. Fighting isn't my strong suit. Good luck in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like I still got to do like that tutorial or whatever. I had to leave in the middle of doing it earlier. The eve of evolution. Do you remember having to find like an access card or some shit like that? Oh, friends, there we go. Guide V. What the fuck?
Is that a mayfly or a goddamn evolutionist? Never mind! Open fire! Now! Did you hear that?
Oh, that's crazy. I've never seen a video game sponsor an anti-lag. Do you know how you're using yeah, do you know how you're using exit lag? There's another company called Gear Up. It looks like it says Gear Up, but it's actually called Gear Up. And Gear Up is just like exit lag. It never worked for Fortnite for me, but it works for other games like PUBG and all that. And this game, Once Human, actually at the bottom of the screen when you click start, if you look where it says bind with Discord, and then the page swipes over, it says Gear Up. Lower your ping, Gear Up booster, unleash potential. And if the game's sponsoring the booster, damn, it must work for something, dog. What the fuck? Well, I only got to play it so much earlier, but based off kind of like how it's gonna have like story mode, like storyline and stuff like that, like cutscenes and shit that I can see. But based off the gameplay that I've seen, it seemed like it was gonna be good. But based off the fucking, like I said, that trailer that I seen on it, man, this game definitely seems like it's going to be worth grinding. Hopefully it's got quite a bit of gameplay to it, so it's not just a quick grind and then we're just done with it. But... We'll all have to go out sometime, like hang out as homies or something, and go do some like axe throwing or something like that, bro. I'd be super down, bro. There could be alcohol involved, or there could be no alcohol involved. It could still be a good time regardless. There will definitely be dabs involved. That's facts. You gotta be smoking. You ain't leaving the house if not. Shit. That's me, at least. I can't leave the house if I have to smoke, though. I literally have to take a hit the second I'm walking out the fucking door. Like, I will literally swerve, and I will pass out driving and crash. No, because if I don't smoke, I have to smoke. And I think it's just because how much dabs I'm doing, you get like burnout from the dabs, right? If you're not just consistently doing it all day long, you get burnt out. Always wondered how those people that only smoke at night do it. I only smoke after work. Like, what the fuck? How the fuck do you do that? You are a champion. Oh, shit. Been playing games with James lately, or do you guys not really play together? That's rough. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, I love building in games, man. That's why I was always interested in DayZ from the very beginning. I was like, what? You can build bases and shit? That's tight as fuck. Yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to learn the basics to it. I was just smoking real quick, but I think once these few first level 1 mission things are over, then that's technically the tutorial in order. I don't know, because it doesn't say tutorial, but... I seen this funny comment that this guy made over his video games, right? It was on Twitter. These people said we're trying to cancel him because they said his game didn't feature like any characters that were like gay, lesbian, like LGBT or anything like that, right? And he's like, what people fail to realize is they're the ones that are fucked up and not woke or whatever, because all my games have featured a gay character, the player, you. I was like, oh damn, shots fired. Dude, it's crazy to think we're not gonna get to play the Dr. Disrespect game, like, with Dr. Disrespect making his own game. Oh! No, the Team Midnight Society that works with him completely dropped him as a partner. Yeah, oh yeah. The exact day that he announced that on Twitter that he did that, and he admitted to doing it, they dropped him. He says it's a mutual thing, which I think it is, so that his company doesn't go downhill, right? Well, it's people that work there in jail to drag them down. hard though, because I feel like all these fucking streamers, something's coming out about all of them, and I'm like, fucking bunch of bitches, bro. Seems like every fucking year there's a new, like, 2 or 3 streamers that are fucking causing drama around them. That's exactly it. second, I'll be right back.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Speaking of which, how about that president? How about that Trump fella? How crazy is this? If there's ever been a real indication that we're in a simulation, it's like this season of USA is the craziest season that's ever existed. There's so many twists and turns, so many plots, so many villains, so many incompetent, bumbling fools that you're like, there's no way that lady's a heartbeat away from the president. There's
I thought it was
no
gonna die, man. Fuck.
There's no way someone is not telling her to stop saying that same thing
Dude.
over and over again.
No, man, I took a fucking teeny dinky shot of alcohol, dog, and like, I'm not a big drinker,
This is
man,
writing.
but-
Someone wrote this. It seems like a script.
When a president that is giving a speech gets shot in the ear and then stands up and goes full John Bender at the end of Breakfast Club,
Bro, he pumps his fist in the air.
that was a crazy
and
shit.
says fight.
Good
fight,
thing I didn't
fight.
die in the game.
And when
I had the game
fucking
paused
guy
for a
who's
second the whole
photographer
time I was in
is
the other
a
room.
Wizard. That guy who got
Whole
that
time
photograph.
I was in
find
the
out
other
his
room.
name, 'cause this guy's a award-winning
With the
photographer.
flag
Come back,
Yes.
and I walked
the
2
angle
feet
that he had,
forward,
like
and there's
where
a
he was standing
monster
when he
right there.
took the
What
photo.
the
It's one of the most
fuck?
iconic photos of all time.
I think could have fucked on me anytime and just killed me or some shit. Fuck, dude.
Move in position of take it.
Wow, that's nuts, man. That's nuts.
I see how the monsters
So you
are
can
now
see as
that
the
I fought
bullets
that
start
first
flying,
one.
This fucking dude.
It's kind of
doesn't even
like
duck. He's still got his camera out. He's
What was that
right
game I played,
behind
Dead
Trump, and
Island?
he's just got his camera out. That is so gangster. I mean, you want to talk about getting a shot no matter what? He's running around. There could be bullets flying his way.
I would think you're holding up something black in your hand that's pointed at the president. You
Crazy.
fucking should get shot.
I mean, the Trump story is right out of a movie. And I'm hoping it's not a Stephen King movie.
This came out while we've been recording.
Secret Service ramped up security after receiving intel of Iranian plot to assassinate Trump. No known connection to shooting. Oh, they ramped that up, and so they ignored the roof 150 yards away?
Yeah,
which is a chip
many,
shot.
there's so many things where you just go, what the fuck?
What the fuck, dude? All of it. And there's so much of it that seems fake, like the female Secret Service agent that can't holster her weapon. Have you seen this? She's like moving around all erratically, and she tries to holster her weapon. She can't get it in there, and she can't figure out how to put it in there. And she stops for a minute, and she just tries back to do it again. And it looks so fake.
Is she an actress?
No, it looks like an actress, though.
Okay.
It looks like if you were going to have a bumbling person in a movie, like almost like a comedy of errors or a Coen Brothers movie about an assassination attempt on the president. You have this lady. Look here. Watch what her gun. Look. She gets her gun out. She tried to put it in there. She couldn't do it, and she's thinking about putting it back in there. She finally gets it in there. Like the whole thing. It's like look at her fumbling around. The whole thing is crazy. The erratic movements. No one knows exactly what to do. It seems fake.
Yeah, that's an audition I could nail.
Yeah, it seems like, okay, now you're panicking. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You really shouldn't be here. Go. You're like, where do I put my gun? Like it does. You want Secret Service cool, calm, collected. You know, high ready with the gun, scanning the area, looking left and right.
Yep.
You want them like swift, decisive movements. You don't want to see any of this fucking squirrely trying to put the gun back in. It seems fake.
When you see the Reagan shot, it is
Yes.
just a bunch of people moving as
Dive on
one.
him. They dive on him.
Yeah.
Bang, dive on him. This seemed, it almost seems like as this simulation gets further and further along, it gets more and more insane.
Just trying to get
Yeah,
further
look at
through
this.
this so I
Yeah,
can
they dive.
hopefully
They dive
get
on
to
the
where I
guy
can get
Got
to.
him.
immediately. They get his gun immediately.
Right there I had to grab some
And Reagan
shit and confirm
survives.
it. I talked to a flying
It's
bird.
also crazy. The
You
Trump
remember
one is
that?
just so nuts too. Like if he turns his head at the last second and the bullet grazes his ears, if he didn't, it hits the back
I
of
also
his
gotta
head,
turn your
and he's
volume
dead.
up just
And
a
then
teeny
we
bit.
fall into chaos, and who knows what the fuck happens.
Big chaos.
And then people think that the Biden administration had Trump killed, and then there's these questions like, how the fuck does this 20-year-old kid climb on that roof 150 yards away and no one sees him?
Well, that one guy was pointing at him the whole time.
Yes.
He's like pointing to.
Yes.
He's like he's right there.
And they're yelling, he's got a gun. there's a guy in the prone position on a roof 150 yards away from the former president. The whole thing's nuts. The whole thing stinks of either incompetence or a design, or we're in the Matrix. This is a fucking fake movie. It seems like almost to watch this, the most bombastic and manly of presidents, for lack of a better term, to see him with these two female bumbling Secret Service agents, especially the one, to see everything happen the way it is, to see that they knew this guy was on the roof, to hear that guy had pointed his rifle before that at a cop. So the cop engaged him, he pointed the rifle, and the cop ran away. The guy climbed the roof with a ladder. You can see the ladder. The whole thing is bananas.
Yeah,
He's 20 years old, and then you find out he was in a BlackRock commercial. You're like, is this the Black Mirror? Like, tell me what's going on. Is this real? Is this real? And then Trump goes golfing with a bandage on his ear the next day?
Yeah. And then the putt, when he made the putt.
Jesus
Did you hear his quote?
No.
He said, that's the difference between me and the shooter. I don't miss.
This isn't a real person.
And then now you have people flooding from the left being like, all right.
Yeah.
That's a
There you
good quote. I'll do this.
There's people that are like, okay, he won. Like, they've just given in. They're not even going to try to run anybody other than Biden now. They were trying to get Biden out, and now I think they've abandoned that.
Well, I wonder if they're doing the old, train the boxer as a southpaw.
Yeah, I read that golf story too. This is not the first time. There's a lot of golf accounts that put out fake shit.
Oh.
And
Jamie, stop ruining our dreams.
I just want to.
You son of a bitch.
That was not seemingly real.
Jamie plays a lot of golf, and he gets very touchy when it comes to golf, and he calls
fair.
bullshit.
That's fair.
It just came from a Reddit post that people screenshotted. There was no pictures, no nothing else.
Oh, well,
This
touche, young troll.
Yeah,
Touche.
it happens a lot.
You got your fucking story mentioned on the podcast.
That's me.
You sons
can
of
get
bitches.
me. You can get me very easily.
I did read that too. The whole thing's so wild. There's video of the kid in the BlackRock commercial, and you're like, what? And there's the video of a kid, like, they're saying he's getting bullied in high school, but it doesn't seem like he's being bullied. It seems like everyone's having fun because he's talking about how he has a 10-inch penis, and they're just filming each other. It looks like they're having fun. And you're looking like, how is it 2 years later, this guy tries to kill Trump? Like, what happened?
Yeah,
and then you find out he was a registered Republican? Like, what?
You know, high school, those 10-inch dick guys always getting bullied. Always
He was
getting
saying it funny. It was like he's trying to be funny. You know?
Gamer
Yeah, I got a
Instinct
10-inch
keeps
penis.
telling me to look for
I mean,
more
he wasn't
shit,
saying, like, I
but I'm not
definitely have a
finding
10-inch
extra
dick.
shit.
It was like it didn't seem like he was being bullied. I mean, obviously, I saw
Like in
one
these
clip,
first
who
few
knows what the
rooms
fuck
that
the
I
full
keep going
context of
to,
it is, but
I feel like, should be looking for more shit.
20 years
and then
old,
it's like,
and he's got this idea, and he
I'm not
pulls it off.
finding extra
He
shit.
actually gets a shot
So I'm
off
like,
and nicks him,
all right, maybe.
and then they kill him. Like, you're seeing this 20-year-old kid, his life is over. Like, somehow or another, he talked himself into trying to assassinate the president as a lone gunman in Pennsylvania, got on top of a roof, either through sheer incompetence or for some other reason. He actually gets a shot off, and the president just moves his head at the right time. Like, the whole thing is, if it was in a movie, I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
That'll make you believe in God. That's like God's up there when he's going like, I don't want to talk to this guy yet. He's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want him up here yet.
Maybe
I don't want
it's
to go.
that.
I'm the greatest angel.
Or maybe he wants him here to expose how crazy our political system really is. Because the only way we find out how coordinated everything is, whether you're a Trump fan or not, even if you hate Trump, put that aside for a second, and just look at how much coordination there is in the media to go after him, and it exposes like this thing where you have to step back and go, wait a minute, hold on a second. What's really going on? Like, whether you hate that guy or not, hate him, think he's a crook, hate him, think he's a liar, hate him. Don't you think it's weird that they're all in lockstep with the way they talk about him, even with things that aren't true? Like, especially like the Russia collusion hoax that they all talked about for years and years. I thought it was real. I thought like he colluded with Russia, and that was like the crazy thing about him winning the presidency. Oh my God, he worked with Russia. Maybe Russia has something on him. You kept hearing about it, right? That was just bullshit. And they went through that for years and years, and then you start going, okay, what else is coordinated where everybody is saying something? Like, how about the Nord Stream pipeline? You know, Seymour Hersh says we blew it up. Like, esteemed journalist is like, no matter what they say, I am telling you, this was our doing. We blew this up. This wasn't some other country. This wasn't Russia. They wouldn't blow up their own pipeline. We blew it up. But every newspaper is like, this is bullshit. This is impossible. It could not happen. This was Russian disinformation. Russian disinformation. You hear it about like every story. It's like so hard to understand. Like, what is the motivation to getting these stories out? Are these narratives created by the real government that runs everything and then like tells the news organizations that are in business with them what to say and what to do?
Knows? I mean,
that's where it gets spooky.
You get like you're voting for a guy who isn't doing much when he gets there. I mean, there's a lot of people around that are making these things, and I will tell you, I still believe some of the Russian shit because you've heard me fucking misquote the Gulf thing. I mean, I still believe a lot of shit I hear.
Oh, I do all the time. They get me all the time. There's so many stories that I'm sure are bullshit that I've parroted.
But if Trump wouldn't play the political game, if he wouldn't put the people on the Supreme Court, I mean, I know it's his job when he's in there, but if he wouldn't do any of that shit, he's definitely the come out on stage and be like waving papers. You guys aren't gonna fucking believe this.
Yeah,
and tell everybody everything.
He is if he wasn't doing that other stuff. But the only way he gets any support is if he does that other stuff too. Like, you got to understand about Trump. He was a lifelong Democrat.
Yeah.
Lifelong. Which is so weird.
Wasn't it when he was starting to run for president, wasn't he still? Like, wasn't he, when he started talking about it?
I believe
was still
so.
a Democrat, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I believe so. Well, he had a very close relationship with the Clintons to the point where he paid them to come to his wedding. Or his daughter's wedding, or one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, you would pay them, and they would come to weddings and events, and he would go to events. You know, that was like the famous thing that was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Do you remember that? The White House Press Correspondents' Dinner was always supposed to be this thing where comedians would do it, and they would, like Michelle Wolf did it one year, fucking crushed it.
I remember.
She crushed it.
So hard.
And they would go up, and Trump was, by the way, the first guy to not do it. Like, you're not making fun of me? Which is kind of a pussy move. But every other president got roasted. And one time, during the White House press correspondence thing, Obama went on stage and he roasted Trump. And one of the lines he said to Trump, he said, "I'm one thing that you'll never be, which is the president of the United States." Because this is when Trump was trying to claim that Obama was from Kenya. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
The birther stuff.
Yeah.
Which is wild. That stuff was wild. You know, he was like saying he knows for sure that Obama came from Kenya, and then there's people that were like examining photoshops of the birth certificate. It was a crazy conspiracy. And that was, you know, he was roasting Trump in the audience, and you could see Trump in his head going, "Oh, okay, I'm going to fucking run now." Like, that might have been the thing that got him to run. Like, legitimately, that's how crazy that guy is. That one moment where Obama was talking shit to him might be the reason why Trump was like, I'll fucking show you. Because you do not want that fucking guy on your bad side.
Well, this is the first time I've ever meant this, but thanks, Obama.
Whoops. Yeah. What a crazy turn of it. Again, seems like it's written. Seems like a script. Seems like a simulation.
That shit really does.
It really does. So much of it really does. So much of life really feels like a simulation. And the thing about this Trump stuff and just all